I want to watch this Jordan Peterson thing because TYT put out a covered this Jordan Peterson thing. It's so funny, and Anna is like losing her mind. Like Anna is losing her mind, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I just paid $250 for a couple plumbers to come out here for an hour, and sounds like you got 2 guys to come out here and use their skills. It took them an hour because they have skills. Doesn't mean it was an hour of work.
But.
Nodders.
And are we degenerate in a profoundly threatening manner? I think the answer to that may well be yes. And that in and of itself does not provide indication of Western derangement. But.
Poor Jordan Peterson having a very public unraveling. In a recent video, he actually tried his hand at geopolitical analysis, and it didn't go so well. Now, here he is floating a theory, a big brain idea, that Russia actually invaded Ukraine because of wokism here in the United States. And he uses Ketanji Brown Jackson as an example to make his point. Let's get to the next video.
And are we degenerate in a profoundly threatening manner? I think the answer to that may well be yes. The idea that we are ensconced in a culture war has become a rhetorical commonplace. How serious is that war? Is it serious enough to increase the probability that Russia, say, will be motivated to invade and potentially incapacitate Ukraine merely to keep the pathological West out of that country, which is a key part of the historically Russian sphere of influence?
What?
Yeah, no, I love this so much, Anna, because they think he's an intellectual. All right, there's a couple of different things here. The Ukraine point is hilarious. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I realized as I watched that a couple of times what he's doing and why they think he's an intellectual.
Yeah, it's hilarious. The Ukrainians are fucking full-blown Nazis, half of them. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't want to exaggerate. An unspecified percentage of the Ukrainian military are full-blown far-right hyper-nationalists who revere a Nazi, a collaborator, a genocidal war criminal, Stefan Bandera. The idea that they're on the side of the LGBT community is a bit much. All right, let's just say it's fascist on fascist violence. It's far right versus far right. They're not Nazis, Mike. They're not German. Good point. Good point. You got me there.
Because he uses words like ensconced. So they don't know what it means.
Word.
His followers don't know what it means, so they think, wow, this guy's so smart. And he will casually throw in things like in and of itself.
Chat, do you know of a streamer who throws in unnecessarily blue language? You know what I'm talking about? Or is it purple? Purple prose is what I meant, not blue. Jesus Christ. You know what purple prose is? Let's just say that I've ameliorated all the effects of purple prose. Purple prose is basically like excessively ornate, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Writing or speaking, where you like add in a 10-cent word you pulled from the thesaurus so that you can sound smarter than you actually are.
Like it's not.
Is that a fancy word?
No, but it sounds like he's having, like he's professorial, right? Like, and he said, and then, are we deranged in a profoundly threatening manner? Like,
What is that?
there's like theoretically big words in there. Like
I think
profound.
you're deranged. Yes, I do think you are deranged.
But are we deranged in a profoundly threatening manner?
More of an amusing
What does that
manner.
mean? What is so? And then he's talked about how we have it has become, or ensconced something or other has become rhetorical commonplace. Wait, that doesn't even make any sense. That's not proper grammar.
No, Jank, he knows what he's talking about. You don't.
No, it's word salad.
He constantly says unironically, dude, don't watch that. He's a dude who got picked up in the far right algorithm for like Anita Sarkeesian videos, okay, and hating on AOC. He was like 5 years old. His brain is small. Just ignore him. He has no education, no experience, doesn't understand anything. He's fucking worthless. Just don't pay attention to somebody that stupid, please. The wisdom of Peterson, the Jordan Peterson word salad generator. Orderliness is at the heart of unbridled timelessness. The logos results from unparalleled dominance hierarchies. He could say this. He could 100% say this. This is actually incredible. The unpredictable comprehends an expression of brightness. Experiential truth comprehends unbridled brutality. Fuck, this is amazing. Legitimately insane.
To be fair to the right wing, establishment Democrats love word salad too. Pete Buttigieg is like the Jordan Peterson of the Democratic Party. He'll do word salad with fancy SAT words, and establishment donors are like, oh my God, I love this guy, right? And so Jordan Peterson here. Now to the main point on Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine because they were worried about how America is too woke. No, come on.
No,
can anyone be that unintelligent to believe that that's true? That Putin was so worried about our moral fiber in America and that it may spread to Ukraine, which might then spread to Russia. And so he thought, I'm going to risk my whole legacy, my military, our entire economy, maybe even getting killed myself when enough people are, because I'm worried about Ketanji Brown Jackson and trans people and woke. Are you insane?
Yes,
you think Putin thought that?
He's insane. Listen, to be fair, Putin is very concerned about the use of pronouns. And so, I mean, who wouldn't go?
Putin is exactly what we created. He's this like far right, oligarch. He's exactly what he is. I mean, I don't know what to say. He's not an ally of the American left. His opposition to American power is the opposition of one national bourgeoisie against another. There is no side here that is advancing leftism. If Ukraine wins, that's not going to make leftism more likely. If it, or a revolutionary conditions more likely. If Russia wins, whatever that means, that's not a victory for the left. It's just a disaster. Sometimes you have to have revolutionary pessimism.
Go to war over that, am I
Happy
right?
Paradox, thanks for the 2
No,
months.
I mean, like, this is brainworms. Like, this is what happens when you're
Mike, are you going to TwitchCon EU? You are listed on the website. I am? Uh-oh, am I famous enough to get listed on the website? How do you, where am I listed? Who's coming? Find your favorite partner. Oh, great. They're helping people stalk me. I have a ticket. I didn't actually talk to like my partner manager or anyone about coming. I do have a ticket though. I'm set to debate Hasan. Oh, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's fucking debate. Let's fucking go. Debate me. I think I might have, I know Mia Bite. I don't know any of these other ambassadors. See you at TwitchCon.
entire grift and your entire financial career relies on culture war narratives and fear mongering about literally the least powerful people in society, right? His entire career was catapulted over using proper pronouns for people in the transgender community. That's it. And like, even though that has been so lucrative for people like Jordan Peterson, he's gone on nationwide tours over that issue, right? Making a ton of money.
Wait for Mike to get dono-walled? Why? I've already met Hasan in real life before in the 2019 TwitchCon. I don't know. I'm just gonna chill out in Amsterdam. You know, I'm not trying to do anything big. Most of my audience is in North America, you know, so we'll meet up. I think I have something at Discord. There's a channel in Discord. So if you're gonna be in Amsterdam or at TwitchCon, jump into the Discord and express interest. Exclamation point Discord. There you go. Jump in there.
he still puts himself in the position of a poor, oppressed individual, right? Putting himself in the position of someone who's been canceled. Listen, I want to make one insanely important point here for some of the young men who might be watching, some of the young men who turn to people like Jordan Peterson for guidance, okay? Please don't. I understand how a lot of young people in this country, particularly young men, are feeling, okay? Our society has been dismantled in so many ways. Our institutions have been dismantled. It feels like there's no future, there's no hope. But if we fight together, we can fight for a better country, a better world. I know we can get there. Turning to someone who supports the very dismantling of the system that has caused so much pain and suffering ain't the answer. You want to take his advice and clean your room. Clean your room. I make my bed every day. It makes me feel better, right? That's not going to solve your problems. This guy is a lunatic. He is crazy. And I promise you, whatever problems you're experiencing in life is not caused by the scapegoats that they're pointing to. It's caused by the people at the very top who have robbed us, who have robbed our institutions, who have destroyed this country for their own personal financial gain, okay? Transgender people, women, whatever you've been directed to hate, they're not the ones ruining your life, bro. They're just not. The ones ruining your life are the ones who promote clowns like Jordan Peterson and the ones who support the policies that, again, have robbed you, have taken money out of your taxes and redistributed that wealth to the very top. That's why you're feeling frustrated.
Yeah, you didn't lose economic dignity because of trans folks. No, that is meant to distract you from the robbery. And so, but the thing I'm most amused with Jordan Peterson, I don't care that he's crazy. With Trump, I cared because the guy was the leader of America and the free world and all that, and had potential for massive damage and did cause massive damage. Jordan Peterson can be crazy all he wants. I'm just mainly amused at his lack of intelligence and how the right wing thinks that he's the paragon of intellectualism. Like when he makes totally nonsensical points that anyone can pick apart with incredible ease.
Now, and one final thing. I mean, look, we can make fun of that video, and we have. But understand, he's providing cover for Russia's invasion into Ukraine.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, so when he went to Russia to get treatment for his benzo addiction, was he convinced that like Vladimir Putin can do no wrong? I don't know, what happened there? Like, how do you look at what's happening in Ukraine with Russia's invasion and think like, no, let me provide an excuse for why Putin did it and provide cover for why Putin did it. It's because of America, and not because of America's foreign policy, not because of America's.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I think that the United States is directly responsible for it for a variety of reasons. Why does NATO exist right now? Why does NATO exist? The purported reason for it ended in '91, and yet it expanded further and further to Russia's borders. We prevented the left from winning elections, and we put in actual consultants and money to support Yeltsin, the drunk fool that eventually handed over power directly to Putin. So like, that is America, but the Putin and the government bear complete responsibility for the illegal invasion. There's no doubt about that. And you could have a view of this that's nuanced. Also, I'll be quite honest with you, it's in the interest of the world for there to be peace. It's for the interest of Ukraine for there to be peace. And the ultra-nationalists who are spouting ideas like, oh, we're going to liberate Crimea, we're going to liberate the Donbass. That's delusional thinking.
His involvement with NATO. No. I'm not going to do any serious analysis here. I'm going to always tie it back to the manufactured culture war.
NATO exists to keep US on top, Germany down, and Russia out. Direct quote from NATO's first Secretary General. Yep.
That I engage in. That's Jordan Peterson for you. Big brains.
Yeah, and look, Putin engages in cultural wars in his own domestic context. Why? Because he cares about the moral degeneration of Western values? Come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's because it's an easy way to rile up the right wing in his own country and have them rally behind him unquestioningly. And then, ironically, Jordan Peterson then comes in and pretends the real issue is cultural wars, and that Putin has a big heart, and he's really worried about the moral decay of all of us. And that's why him taking over Ukraine in a bloody war and killing thousands of Ukrainians is the right and moral thing to do. Do you see how sick that is?
So we're not done because I had mentioned soon-to-be Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Jordan Peterson seems to be in a tizzy over the fact that she's a black woman who is confirmed. So let's take a look at what he had to say about her, and then we'll try to figure out how this ties into Russia's invasion.
It remains true that sex and race trumped qualification, and that a moral case.
What? She literally was one of the most qualified Supreme Court nominees ever. Not that these qualifications matter for a Supreme Court judge, but if you're going by judicial experience, Ketanji Brown Jackson was a trial attorney. She was a public defender. She worked at the district court level. She worked at the appellate court level. She has a complete breadth of experience, both as a lawyer and a judge at every level of our judicial system. There isn't anybody who could be more qualified. She also graduated at the top of her class. She has strong academic credentials as well. Like, what are you talking about? That's actually racist. That's actually point blank just a lie.
Was made for that decision. And that in and of itself does not provide indication of Western.
Do you want an example of someone whose race trumped their experience? Clarence Thomas was a 40-some-year-old district court judge who was a right-wing ideologue who was selected to replace the first black man on the Supreme Court, Thurgood Marshall, who retired, quite frankly, stupidly under a Republican, replaced by a far-right ideologue, Clarence Thomas, who was declared. Multiple people at the ABA, the American Bar Association, wanted to vote him not qualified to be a judge. He ended up getting the worst recommendation by the ABA of any nominee that actually became a judge or actually became a justice. Like, point blank, unqualified. But he was a black conservative, and they wanted to be able to say, hey, Democrats, you vote against the black conservative, you're a racist. They were playing pure identity politics. And Jordan Peterson doesn't mention Clarence Thomas because it's okay when they do it. You see, Ketanji Brown Jackson was highly qualified. And yes, Biden stupidly, and at the time I said it was stupidly, said he wanted to appoint a black woman. I said that was dumb because it undermines her. If you want to appoint a black woman, think in your mind, we should appoint a black woman. Then find the most qualified black woman you can and say, here is my pick. Look at all her amazing qualifications. And she's, let other people notice she's a black woman. They're going to notice, okay? You don't have to say, I'm ignoring everybody who's not a black woman. That undermines her and makes people like Jordan Peterson get ammunition to say that she was picked because of race. It's just, calm down. It's just a very piss poor, stupid political fumble by Biden.
Arrangement. But when the self-same candidate was asked directly in an interview during the confirmation process, the very straightforward question, what is a woman? Which, granted, was a gotcha question, which only goes to show the severity of our current level of derangement, and so is no excuse for failure to answer. She said, I'm not a biologist. That is not a good answer.
That is not a good answer, but. Like, what is this?
I mean, look at the whole setting, man. He looks like a caricature of a Bond villain.
Listen, she didn't want to answer
the
the transphobic
he looks
question.
like a mobster.
You guys know that, okay? We all know what all you right-wingers are up to, right? It's a a potential Supreme Court justice, a nominee who's sitting through a confirmation hearing, and you have these clown-ass senators, Republican senators, but like asking, oh, what is a woman? We all know why they ask that question. Okay, it is a waste of time. He knows it's a waste of time, but he loves it. They love it so much because how are they going to continue their grift if they don't have more content to latch onto? Oh, precious content, I'm
actually really happy with how TYT has turned. Like TYT has lost their shit just like me, and I really appreciate that. Like they were kind of like floating around, becoming a little bit more lib, but the rage is really kicking off, you know? Like look at Anna right here. This is the type of content I want to see.
Content about transphobia, I love it, but you're such a creep, man. Dude's a creep. Like I would die if this was my dad. I would banish myself from public life. I'd be like, I can't do it. I'm gone. Bye. I would strap him in a chair in a basement and I wouldn't let him leave.
She did. She tried, Anna. She tried. She pumped him full of Bezos and sent him to Russia to get detoxed. She tried her best to take him out, okay, Anna? All right? She fed him an all-meat diet and then pumped him full of Bezos and then sent him to Russia. Like, what more do you want? She shot her shot.
He promises me that he'd stop embarrassing our family. What are you doing, bro? And let me just talk about Ketanji Brown Jackson and the idea that the only reason why she was nominated is because she's a black woman and that was it. Contrary to what what people like Jordan Peterson believe, Ketanji Brown Jackson is very much qualified for the job. She proved that in her handling of the confirmation hearing. She proved that in her lengthy career as a judge. I'm not even gonna entertain it. To just simply say, no, her qualifications didn't even exist. And the only reason why she got nominated by Biden is because she's a black woman is ridiculous. Biden nominating a black woman as a Supreme Court justice was important because that was a historic nomination in a Supreme Court that has traditionally been overwhelmingly white and male. Okay, so putting someone in there who's a woman of color, who's also incredibly qualified for the job is an important thing to do, the right thing to do, and it's one of the few good things that Biden has done in his administration. So sit down.
I mean, it didn't matter because it's a 6-3 majority. So she's just, she's there to right the sense and say, no, it's as bad. And then when everybody says the Supreme Court's political, her job is to stand up and say, yes, I'm losing every case because of ideology, but it's not political. Please stop. We're good friends, and hug the conservatives. That's her job.
You want to talk about qualifications, homeboy? You want to talk about qualifications? You just said that Russia invaded Ukraine over wokism in the United States. Sit down. Just sit down.
Okay, those are good.
Here's my book. One rule: sit down.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay, I have more fun comments to make. First of all, don't trust anyone who ever does this. Or this while talking, okay? What is this? I think what he's doing is what right-wingers think smart people look like. That they do things like this and this while talking. What is this? What is this? Okay.
Or the eyebrow thing that he does.
And then this look, and this look. Let me tell you something, okay? So I halfway expected one of these clips to say, look, all I wanted was sharks with laser beams on their freaking heads. I couldn't get that. And Anna, if you did strap them into the basement, the last things you would hear is, but, are you coming back?
Fine, no. Finally, to wrap this all up, okay? So he goes on this rant about Ketanji Brown Jackson. What does that have to do with Russia's invasion into Ukraine again? Here's how he ties it all together.
Oh, can't wait.
And are not the Russians and the Hungarians and the Poles and the Indians to a lesser degree watching and thinking, those people have gone out of their minds. And we have, to say it again, clearly, the culture war in the West is real and culture is losing. And Russia is part of the West. And the culture war is now truly part of why we have a war. And it's a real war. So the Russians believe that they have a moral duty and that they have the highest moral duty to oppose the degenerate ideas, philosophy, theology of the West. And there's something about that is not wrong.
Listen, to my young homies out there who are frustrated, you're not getting laid, he's not gonna get you laid. I promise you. I'm a woman, I know. Please run away as quickly as you can from this lunatic. He's not gonna help you out. Please, I'm begging you. I'm just looking out for you. He's not the right one.
But Moral duty. That's why Putin invaded Ukraine, because of the moral duty we created. I mean, come on, you would have to be extraordinarily naive to believe that. He's a guy who looks like the most deranged guy we've ever met talking about derangement syndrome. I mean, it's irony wrapped in irony. It's an irony burrito.
We gotta stop. That's it. That's the only thing that comes to mind when I look at him. We just gotta stop. You gotta sit down. And I'm gonna leave you with one final video. If you're ever tempted to believe that Jordan Peterson is well equipped to give you life advice, just remember what we're about to show you.
They're worse than animals, because animals, they just kill to eat, you know? Human beings, they have a twist in them that makes them far worse than animals when they really get going. Well, I think you really want to know what I think? I think it's revenge against God for the crime of being. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's what it is at the bottom of the hell of things.
Wow, I didn't know we were gonna get some German fucking like philosophical pessimism in here. I didn't know we were gonna get some German style philosophical pessimism. Do not read, it's brain poison. You want ideas that I actually think are brain poison, that I think should only be given out as prescription to people that are properly mentally prepared? German pessimists. There's one German pessimist. He's the socialist one. He wrote his philosophical treatise, and then when the manuscripts were delivered to his house, he used them as a step stool to hang himself. He was so philosophically committed to his pessimism that he used his own books as the step stool to hang himself. Now that, my ladies and gentlemen, is pessimism. That is pessimism. But anyway, you know, nihilists. Yeah. You can read some nihilists. They're not so bad. The real good German pessimism. Woo-wee! That's some tough stuff.
A close reading of 20th century history indicates, as nothing else can, the horrors that accompany loss of faith in the idea of the individual. Well, we're going to destroy the planet. We have to do this. We have to demoralize the youth to be ethical. It's like, yeah, really, that's your theory? You're going to demoralize young people to be ethical? That's your theory? It's like, you should go home and think about that for like a year. And I'm passionate about this, because
he's a
you have no
why
idea.
doesn't he just study philosophy instead of being so dumb?
Yeah, how many people that's killing?
You have no idea. Your consciousness relies on humble truth. The dominance hierarchy is nested in a jumble of life, roughly speaking. Wow, this website is so good. Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.